Scary thought, your designs might be the reason why your clients are ghosting you. And AI is making exactly the same design mistakes that you are. Whether you're creating in ChatGPT or Canva's Magic Studio, your designs might look a little off. And it's not that you're bad at design or that AI doesn't work. It's because these 5 spooky mistakes keep creeping into your designs. And unless you learn to spot them and fix them, they'll keep scaring away your customers. I've been a designer for many years, long before Canva or AI were around. But even with all this new technology, the same old problems still keep creeping in. I see it all the time. Clients of mine create a post or a presentation in AI, and they come to me and they say, "Wow, doesn't this look amazing?" And I look at it and I think, it kind of looks generic, it looks very cheesy, and overall, it doesn't look anything like their brand. That's because AI can write content and create designs really, really fast, but it can't make them feel right without your direction. So let's take a look at what's really haunting your visuals. Stick around to the end, because I'll show you my #1 prompt that I use in AI to stop those nasty design habits from even showing up. So hi, if we haven't met before, welcome to my channel. I'm Miranda Capellino. I've been a graphic designer for over 30 years, and I'm your guide to creating a brand that actually works. I help business owners, content creators, and BAs turn their DIY designs into scroll-stopping graphics that get them clicks, clients, and confidence fast. No more design stress or branding guesswork, just professional visuals that look great and get results. And the first mistake is the Franken-Font Monster. AI and humans love to use a lot of fonts, and we think the more that we add into the mix, the better a design will be, and that's simply not the case. When every heading is different and your body copy looks odd throughout a document, that's when your brand vibe gets lost. So you need to pick 2 to 3 fonts and stick to them consistently when creating designs. And when you prompt AI to create a design for you, you need to specify exactly what those fonts are. So include them in all your prompts. What you don't want your design to look like is Frankenstein, with 6 million different pieces of fonts all stitched together. The second mistake is what we'll call the Colour Cauldron. AI loves pops of colour, but it normally gets it really wrong. Sometimes the hue is off, sometimes the colours are just clashing, and using too many colours just makes your designs look messy and totally unprofessional. Just like with your fonts, you want to limit your colours to 2 to 3. And you can use tints and tones of those colours, so a pale version of one or a darker version of another, but stick to 2 to 3 colours. One true fact is that if you get a palette of paint and you squeeze out all the different colours and you mix it all together, it will eventually turn into brown, which looks like mud. You want to be specific and just keep to 2 to 3 colours. And again, try and put those colours into your prompts. So for example, I would say I use a white background with accents of pink and blue, and my font is always a beautiful charcoal. An even better trick is to keep your hex codes in a notes app. And whenever you're writing your prompts or creating a design, make sure that you've got those hex codes available and you can just cut and paste them out of the notes into your prompt when you're writing up your brief. Next spooky mistake that I see with both my clients and AI is the layout curse. And that is literally having absolutely no breathing room or margins on your designs. People think that they have to fit everything as close to the edge of the page as possible. And AI tends to cram in as much content as possible on a page. It's one of the biggest giveaways of an untrained or AI-generated design. You always need to consider alignment, white space, and using a margin in your designs. Allowing that breathing space is going to stop your designs from suffocating. If you're serious about building a brand and creating designs that stand out, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. And join my newsletter, The Brand Buzz, for weekly design tips and branding advice direct to your inbox. The fourth scary mistake that I often see is the ghost of consistency past. And that's when you create a design and you don't stick to your visual brand identity. Every single time you create a design or ask AI to create something for you, it looks different. And that's because if you don't prompt AI and you don't use your brand kit yourself, every design is always going to come out looking odd. And that's because AI can't remember your brand unless you prompt it. If every new design that you create or you ask AI to create for you uses a different font, a different color, different type of image, it's going to ghost your brand vibe. So in order to keep your brand alive, you need to use your brand kit every single time you create in Canva, and you need to feed your brand vibe words into your prompts for AI. And the final scary mistake that I often see is the overdone demon. And humans and AI are just as guilty of this mistake. We add in too many effects, gradients, icons, shadows, special features that we think will make our designs look better, but actually just overcrowd and scare the general visual. When you've got too much going on in your designs, the message that you want to come out and hit the viewer is going to get totally lost. So you want to keep all your designs, as I said, whether you're creating them yourself or you're asking AI to create them for you, really, really simple. Design with purpose, not panic. You don't need to add layer and layer and layer onto a design. If you've got one clear message, one clear visual, and it contains your brand identity, that is going to stand out and it's going to do the job it needs to do. Whether that's getting somebody into your store, promoting a new sale, whatever it is that you want this graphic to do, you need to keep it simple. Earlier, I said I'd give you that one ingredient that I add to every single AI prompt in order to make my designs come out looking brand aligned. And that is to always include your 3 to 5 brand words inside the prompt. For example, don't just say, I want to create a social media post. Be descriptive. If your brand is for children, then say you want it to be exciting and bold and colorful and fun. If your brand is more for a feminine market, say you want it to be gentle and friendly and kind and calm. Or maybe it's more of a masculine market, so you want to be strong, protective and bold. Put those descriptive words into all your prompts. If you're having a problem finding your descriptive words, go down to the show notes. I've got a fun word game that you can play, which will help you to find the exact brand vibe words that you need to use in all your AI prompts and your designs. Or if this hit home and you're ready to create a brand that stands out with all the online collateral that is going to miss all those mistakes and look fabulous, please join me inside Design Your Brand Academy. It's my step-by-step system where I help you define your brand vibe, discover your visual identity, and create all the brand assets that you'll need moving forward. The link's also below. I'd love to see you inside.